Smell what the rock is cooking.
Welcome back to Lawnpire, your host DK here. Remember, like and subscribe to us on the network. Mighty Lawns TV, your #1 source for lawn care entertainment. Alright, so on today's episode, we're going to touch on the touchy subject, how to get lawn care customers, new customers. Alright, so we've went over pricing. We've talked about, the different things you've got to do, and that's a part of it on how to get those new customers, your pricing, right? So anytime you go into a new neighborhood, you've scoped out your territory, you've kind of scoped out other businesses as well. You want to know what you're getting yourself into, the target demographics, right? All right, so you got to know what to charge people before you can even get any business. But the one thing you want to do, of course, is go in there, guns high blazing, right? So you got to go in there with great marketing material. You've got to go in there with a great portfolio. People need to see your work, especially when you're trying to sign up a customer. Because, hey, the way I like to get new customers, I like to just knock on the door.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, huh?
We've done this before. We leave the postcards in a mailbox on the door and stuff like that. But I really like to knock on the door because I have to make my presence known versus the other guys. Because, once again, you're talking about hundreds of lawn care guys out there in the lawn care industry. What's going to separate you from the other guy? And a lot of times it doesn't always come down to pricing. A lot of times it just comes down to, hey, they came home at the right time, and the last guy who showed up at their house left a flyer of some sort, and so they called them. So you want to make sure that you develop some sort of marketing strategy to get you some. What is that marketing strategy, you ask me? And like I said, if it's me, if I'm going to spend the money and if you're going to use flyers, if I'm going to get 1,000 flyers, I'm knocking on doors as I'm going. Yes, I'm going to be like AT&T and Comcast, every other petty person who comes to your door and disturbs you. Now, when you do that, of course, it's all about timing. You don't want to be the guy who enters with dinner, right? You want to always be able to come at a time where it's conducive for both parties. So, you have to strategize that as well. So when you're strategizing, your marketing plan, always know the subdivision. Always, like I told you before, research. Know the median income of that neighborhood so you don't price yourself out of the subdivision, right? All right, so then you say, okay, well, I've got my flyers ready. Got my postcards ready. Get some business cards. Because once you start meeting people one-on-one, yes, you're giving them a flyer to know what you guys are thinking. You're getting ahead of me, and that's okay. You're thinking, well, if I got a flyer, why I got to give them a business card? Well, duh. Business card, they're going to keep. Flyer, they're either A, not going to keep it, crumble it. Maybe they'll pass it on to somebody else, but a business card they'll always have to keep. And a business card, it's that personal calling card that when you introduce them, you say, hey, here's my flyer, my postcard. Here is list A to Z, the services that I might offer for you. And then, hey, you know what? You start off with a greeting, of course, and you end it with, here's my business card. I'm Donald from ABC Lawns, right? Always end your conversation handing your prospective client a business card. Here's another way, too, to get new customers out here. Tell everybody. Everybody come across, tell them about your business, all right? Just like when you had that new girlfriend and you paraded her around town, you got to do your business the same way. Tell everybody that you meet about your business because that's all a part of branding, which we'll do in another episode. But tell everybody. Use social media. Tell everybody about your business, man. Hey, I'm not working for the other guy no more. I got my own thing going now, right? All right, so keep that in mind. Tell everybody about your business. Get close with some of those Home Depot workers too, or if you go to Lowe's. Develop a personal relationship with them. That way, when they're buying product all the time, you hand them a business card, a flyer, and they'll tell customers that's coming in to buy product. Hey, you guys have a product in for your landscaping this weekend? Hey, a great buddy of mine owns Mighty Lawns Lawn and Landscaping Management, right? So keep that in mind when you're getting those new customers. Tell everybody, make sure you have your marketing game going on, have all your marketing material, your business cards, postcards, your flyers, whatever you have. Free t-shirts, whatever it's going to take to get the business so you can get these new customers, get it done. All right, until next time, watch Lawnpire every Monday. Your host, DK here. Remember, like and subscribe to us on the network, Mighty Lawns TV.